Hi there, and welcome back to another weekly top bike, which this week goes to the Merida Scultura Endurance 7000E. Merida isn't a brand that I've been too familiar with, and it's only been through setting up the Bike Catalogue that I took a proper look at what the bikes they offered. What stood out was the value for money. On the whole, the majority of the bikes come with some really impressive gears and wheels attached onto good quality carbon frames at prices that don't appear to have followed the general trend of the bike market, which is upwards. This bike in particular is a great example of this point, coming in at £3,500. For comparison, Giant, Bianchi, Cervelo and BMC all offer endurance-based bikes at this price point, but they're all missing one particular detail that makes this bike stand out. The Merida has electronic gears in the form of Shimano Ultegra Di2. For those of you that have never ridden electronic gears, quite simply, they're excellent. They require less maintenance, they shift faster and more accurately, and are just generally easier to use. I know it sounds silly, but the effort it takes to push a lever to change the gear is noticeable when you've tried electronic gears. The other bikes mentioned all use a mix of Ultegra or 105, which is still very reasonable for this price point. However, to see electronic group sets at that $3,500 really makes this bike stand out. If you head over to the Bike Catalogue website, you'll be able to see just how few bikes have this setup for this price. But why are electronic gears useful, and why is it useful in making this bike stand out in the way that it does? Well, the Scultura is an endurance-focused bike, which means the geometry of the frame puts you in an upright position. This makes it super comfortable for those long weekend rides where speed may not be the out-and-out focus, but instead just enjoying riding your bike is. When comfort is the focus, making things like gear changes easier really add to the overall quality of the bike. This endurance bike comes with Continental Grand Prix 4-season tyres in a 32mm width. These Conti tyres are really top-end tyres, and it's a great touch. Merida quote the bike as having clearance of 35mm, but other reports suggest 40mm is possible. Given this huge clearance, you can run massive tyres, which just adds to the further comfort of the ride. Big tyres and a relaxed geometry mean you can jump on the bike after a long week of sitting at the desk, making the most of the open roads. The DT Swiss P1850 wheels, which the tyres are fitted to, are okay wheels. They're a little heavy, but they're dependable and will keep you rolling through any weekend ride. Race-specific frames can often be much more aggressive positions, and if you're fairly sedentary during the week, these aggressive bikes can be a little uncomfortable to ride. Because of this, riding a bike that doesn't make you feel every bump or put you in a position you see the pros on TV holding, it's a bike that you can just enjoy. I also really like the fact that Merida have put 160mm rotors on the bike. The improved stopping power of these larger rotors compared to the more normal 140mm will again add to the overall ease of your riding experience. There are neat touches on this bike, with mounts for mudguards or pannier racks. This makes the bike into an ultimate all year round setup, which further adds to the appeal. Overall, this bike is a really impressive package, and it's a great option for someone looking at either getting into cycling or someone who wants that added bit of comfort for their rides.